We'll, we'll,
So Gopaleshwar Prabhu, everybody knows Gopaleshwar Prabhu. He has given classes a few times. He is a brahmachari in ISKCON Jew temple, serving there for many, many years. He has a master's from IIT Bombay, and he disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, and he has been living there for many, many years. Since Prabhu, which year are you there?
99, 1999.
1999, so 21 years now. And before that, he was introduced to Krishna consciousness. So we are very fortunate to hear from him. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay, we will start. Thank you, Prem Sundar Prabhu, for inviting me to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So we'll do small Radha Madhav, then have a class, and then question and answers. Hare Krishna. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री
Prabhu,
श्री
we cannot see you.
ओ
That is,
what I have to do?
no, we cannot see you. I don't know if everybody else. Earlier you were visible, but now it's
So video option is white. Now
off. Now the video is off.
it's on.
But it's on, but we don't see. Is everybody having the same? What about everybody? Yeah, so everybody can't see you. I don't know if your camera is facing you or is it facing something else.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to do. So I go to camera, huh?
No, you are on your phone or your laptop. I don't know if your laptop or.
Okay, done. Can you see me now?
No, now the video is off.
Oh, okay. Now?
Yes, we can see, but it is showing some wall or something. Looks like, I don't know. It's very blurred picture.
Okay, I think the camera is on other side. I don't know how to turn it.
But last time it was perfect. Last time when you were.
Yeah, my assistant also used the mobile, na, so I don't know the settings. Okay, let me see.
Oh, maybe, okay, so maybe it is turned on the other side, not towards you. It is turned towards the.
But I changed that when I went to the camera. Skype has a different camera, huh?
We just saw you for a second. Did you do
Yeah, before you were visible, but then it became like this.
Okay, wait.
But it's okay, otherwise also it's fine. We can hear.
No, I think. Can I disconnect and you call back, or would that work?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can log out and then maybe. But
I can see myself now.
But we can't. Yeah, now we can see. Yeah, now it's perfect. Yes.
Okay. Okay, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the creation of the fourth order, verse number 14, the story of King Vena. Canto 4, the creation of fourth order, chapter 14, the story of King Vena, verse number 10. अहेर इव पये पोष पोष कश्यापि अनर्थभृत् वेन प्रकृतैव खल सुनीता गर्भ संभव. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The sages began to think within themselves, because he was born from the womb of Sunita, King Vena is by nature very mischievous. Supporting this mischievous king is exactly like maintaining a snake with milk. Now he has become a source of all difficulties. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Saintly persons are generally aloof from social activities and the materialistic way of life. King Vena was supported by the saintly persons just to protect the citizens from the hands of rogues and thieves. But after his ascendance to the throne, he became a source of trouble to the sages. Saintly people are especially interested in performing sacrifices and austerities for the advancement of spiritual life. But Vena, instead of being obliged because of the saints' mercy, turned out to be their enemy because he prohibited them from executing their ordinary duties. A serpent who is maintained with milk and bananas simply stores poison in his teeth and awaits the day to bite his master. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 14, Text 10, Translation. The sages began to think within themselves, because he was born from the womb of Sunita, King Vena is by nature very mischievous. Supporting this mischievous king is exactly like maintaining a snake with milk. Now he has become a source of all difficulties. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. So one of the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj is King Anga, who is great soul, Raja Rishi, pure devotee of Krishna. So King Anga, he had a son, Vena, King Vena. Now, King Anga was a pure devotee and Vena was an extreme case. He was a very cruel person. He would go in the forest for hunting with bow and arrow and kill unlimited animals. And he would kill babies in his childhood in the play. And King Anga tried many methods, many ways to reform his son. But he went on becoming angry and cruel day by day, increasing his cruelty. So all the people would question, even Parikshit Maharaj questioned, that King Anga is a pure devotee and is coming in a nice family of Dhruva Maharaj. How come he got such a cruel boy? And the answer is, King Anga's wife, Sunita, was not a good mother. She was a bad mother. She was daughter of Mrityu personified, and they were coming in the family of Adharma, irreligion. So King Anga, even though he is a pure devotee, but because he united with a bad womb, he got a child who is so cruel. We should know the child, the boy child, gets the qualities of the father of the mother, and the girl child gets the qualities of the father of her father. So the boy child gets the qualities from the family mother's side, and the boy child gets the qualities of the mother's family, and the girl child gets the quality of father's family. There's a very interesting episode in Damodar Leela wherein Yashoda Maiya every day would get a complaint that your Krishna is a chore, is a thief. And she would deny. She would never accept that my child, my darling son, will ever steal butter. My darling son will ever be naughty. He is not a thief. So once, on the Deepavali day, the day Damodar Leela happened, Krishna did mischief in his own house. And Yashoda Maiya got very angry and she chased him and chastised him. At that time, first time, Yashoda Maiya told Krishna, you are chor, you are a thief. Till now, only the neighboring gopis would complain and Yashoda Maiya would deny. But now, seeing Krishna's mischievous activities of breaking the pot, eating the butter, throwing the butter here and there, and feeding the monkeys, and breaking several pots, Yashoda Maiya told Krishna, you are chor, you are a thief. Krishna didn't like this. Nobody likes this. Even a real chor would not like to accused. So Krishna gave an amazing reply. You will be shocked to hear. Krishna told Maiya, Tera baap chor hai. Your father is chor. Your father is thief. He said like that. And there is a deep philosophy behind this, which we just discussed. That a boy child gets the quality of mother's family, and the girl child gets the quality of father's family. So Krishna, as a boy child, is just 3 years old and he is already expert in stealing. So from where did he get this quality of stealing? It must be from mother's side. That means Yashoda Maiya's father's quality, the grandfather, Yashoda Maiya's father's quality must have come in Krishna. So Yashoda Maiya, your father Mrs. Chor, your father is thief. That's why I have skills of stealing. That's why I have qualities of stealing. That's what Krishna's reasoning is. So the character of the child, in fact the whole future generation depends on the womb, depends on the mother. For a tree to be nice, the seed should be nice and the field should be nice. So both father and mother who are eager to have children, they should be aware that their duty is to produce a child who is a good citizen, who will be a good citizen, who will be a good character person, and who will be a good devotee of Krishna, who will contribute to the mission of Lord Krishna. Otherwise, it is irresponsibly producing children. Even animals produce children. But in human society, the parents, the young couple should know that the child which we are producing, a soul is coming in a human form, and this human form is very important opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness. So we should take responsibility that the soul which is coming in the human form in a baby body in our house never goes into the womb again, never again takes birth, but get liberated in this life. So for that, the consciousness of the parent should be very nice during conception, and the upbringing of the child should be in devotional atmosphere. So for that, there is Garbhadhan Samskar. Garbhadhan Samskar means the day the child is conceived. And in earlier times, there would be yajna, and they would feed the brahmanas and so many things. If Garbhadhan Sanskar is not done properly, then we cannot get good progeny, good children. The classic example is Mother Diti. Mother Diti was afflicted with lusty desires, and she approached her husband Kashyap Muni in the evening time. And Kashyap Muni said that, look, as a husband, it is my duty to fulfill your lust, fulfill your sexual desire, but this is not right time. We should follow proper Garbhadhan Samskar procedures. But she was not able to control herself. And Kashyap Muni agreed to her proposal to fulfill her desire, and they gave birth to two original demons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And this birth of two demons was because of conception done at improper time with improper consciousness. So young couples should bring forth good devotees in the family. During conception, as per the consciousness of the husband and wife, a soul gets attracted to the womb of the mother. So if their consciousness is pure, that's good. And to make and prepare one's consciousness pure, Srila Prabhupada in modern times gave a formula that both husband and wife should chant minimum 50 rounds of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pray to Krishna and Vaishnavas, spiritual master, and seek blessings. Read Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, honor only Prasadam, and perform their duties with purity. In that way, a good soul gets attracted to the womb of the mother, and then in a devotional atmosphere in the family, when the child is taken care, he grows up to be a nice devotee. A child who is born after his birth, his personality, his character, what it will be in the future, how much parents contribute after birth, how much the parents contribute to the future of the child, how he will be in terms of qualities, in terms of personality, in terms of character, how much the parents contribute? The answer is zero. Zero. The child's character is formed already inside the womb. Now nothing more can be done. Nothing more can be done. It's already formed in the stomach. That's why this Garbhodhan Samskar is very important. The personality of the child depends on three prominent aspects. One is his past life karma. Second is the sanskara he gets during conception. And third is the association he gets in this life. If the samskara is very strong, it can overcome the bad karma and the bad association of this life. If the good association of this life is very strong, it can overcome bad samskara and bad karma. But if the bad karma is strong or the bad samskara is strong, then things can go in a different direction. So young couples should know this. And those who are already parents and they have children, they should know presently they can't do much. The only thing we can do is give them blessings. When sadhus visit and bless our child, then their samskaras and past karmas can change. Only by these causeless blessings they can have a transformation of heart. Only by these causeless blessings they can have a change in their life. Like Narad Muni, he was cursed to be born in the family of a Shudra mother. And at age 5 he was just an ordinary child. But the mother allowed 4 pure devotees as guests in her house for 4 months. And they blessed the child and he became the great Narad Muni by that blessings. Prahlad Maharaj, he was to be born as a son of Hiranyakashipu and expected to be demon, but by Narad Muni's mercy inside the womb, he became a great devotee, Prahlad. Srila Prabhupada's own father, Gaur Mohan Dey, every day would invite couple of sadhus in the house and give them nice prasad and dakshina, and at the end tell, please bless my child Abhay, that he'll become a good devotee of Srimati Radharani. So the only way the heart can be transformed is by the blessings of a sadhu. So parents should provide this opportunity to the children to chant the holy name, to visit temple and pay obeisances, to seek blessings of the Vaishnavas, to pay obeisances to Tulsi Maharani, to serve cows, sadhus and deities, and to hear Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastimes. Such devotional atmosphere is very important. Today, how advanced the civilization may be, or the Western society may be, or even Indian modern society may be, in terms of comforts, in terms of convenience, in terms of traveling in nice cars and buses and posh roads and posh buildings and nice restaurants and nice colleges and universities, but every single parent is afraid that when my child grows up and goes in the college or university, he will get damaged. Every single parent is afraid that when my child grows up and goes outside the confines and safety of my house, he will get into drugs, he will get into live-in relationships, or she will get pregnant in teens and they will get bad friends, and oh, so much fear is there. The universities are meant to create good character citizens by education, but those are the dens of creating bad citizens. Those are the dens of getting bad habits and drugs and abortions and teenage pregnancies and cigarettes and alcohol and tobacco and smoking and prostitution and so many dirty things. So how can they come out of this danger when they have a strong samskara which can fight, and they can say no to these temptations and no to bad habits and no to bad friends and no to bad association? And when they have blessings of a devotees, then they can control and say no to their bad friends. So these blessings are very important in our life for ourselves and our children. We can't just change our heart by our hard work or by our ideas or by our strategies or talents. We have to have blessings. Only by blessings we are successful, not just by hard work. So we should seek these blessings. So unfortunately, Vena, being born of a bad womb, turned out to be very cruel and nothing worked to reform him. So King Anga got so frustrated that he left the kingdom overnight. And next day, when they didn't find the king, the ministers were surprised what to do. And after a few days, the thieves and the rogues in the kingdom, they started looting the people even in daytime, even in public spaces, and the citizens were unprotected, and so much stealing and looting and violence was happening. So all the brahmanas and sages, saintly personalities, sadhus who generally are busy with their own spiritual life and they don't involve in government and politics, when they saw that the citizens are afraid to even come out in the daytime, so they went and requested Sunita to make her son Vena as the king. They supported that decision. They knew Vena is cruel, but they thought a blind uncle is better than no uncle. At least some king should be there. So Vena sat on the throne. He started ruling the kingdom. And as soon as Vena started ruling the kingdom, all thieves, all dacoits, all gundas, all rogues, they went underground. There was not a single thief in the kingdom active. There was not single looting or violent incident. Everybody went underground and stopped that activities. Why? Because Vena was the biggest thief. Because Vena was so cruel that nobody could stand in his competition. Like if a big snake is there, then all other small snakes automatically finish, because big snakes eat small snakes. So Vena was such a cruel person that no criminal could stand in his competition. Everybody went underground or Vena killed them. And Vena started ruling very cruelly. And he told the citizens not to perform any spiritual activities and worship. In fact, Vena would say, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me, always worship me, become my devotee and pay obeisances to me, because I am your maintainer, I am God. Vena would claim himself to be God, and he would chastise and punish innocent citizens even for no mistake. So the sages, they got very disturbed that Vena is not allowing people to execute spiritual practices. So they went to talk to Vena, and Vena told them, you all sages and sadhus, you all are nasty prostitutes. You are being maintained by me. I am your master. I am supplying you food, and leaving me you are serving somebody else, some Vishnu you are serving. So strongly he spoke that you should not be serving Vishnu, you should be serving me, you should chant my name in your mantras, you should have my deities and worship. That is okay, but if you serve Vishnu and tell the citizens to serve Vishnu, I will not allow. So the sages became very surprised and shocked, and they started discussing among themselves, and that is what we are reading the section where the sages are being very disturbed, and they are thinking that we supported Vena to become the king, and now he is doing sinful activity, so we are implicated in bad karma. You see, if you vote for a government and the government does sinful activity, then one who voted and supported that government incurs that sinful activity, incurs that bad karma. So the sages understood that generally sadhus do not get involved in social activities. That's not good. Sadhus should do their bhajan and guide the society to do bhajan. They should preach. They don't get involved in government and politics. They can advise the Kshatriyas how to manage, but they should not personally manage in general. Renounced people. They should maintain their purity. They should not try to earn money or have bank balance or a bank account and keep money for future, or try to occupy a post in the society and have people to worship or follow them in administration and implement the strategies. They should advise the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas would do that, and they would advise the Vaishyas, and the Vaishyas would earn money, and they should just beg whatever comes in the by the mercy of Krishna. They should live very simply with few clothes and a small accommodation and little prasad and very few belongings, and they should just travel and preach. They should spend all their human energy and time in the pursuit of Krishna consciousness, in the pursuit of serving the absolute truth, and not in amassing wealth or followers or disciples or business or administration or military. They should not get involved in that generally. But in emergency situation, they can get involved to help the citizens live peacefully and practice spiritual life. So one emergency was when Anga died, and they supported Vena to be the king. But now they saw another emergency, that Vena is so cruel that he is not allowing anybody to worship Vishnu. We are the one who put him on the throne, and he has, instead of being grateful to us, instead of being obliged to us, he is against us. He is like a snake. If you feed nice milk and bananas to the snake, what is happening is his poison is increasing in his body, and one day he will bite the master. Snakes are like that, ungrateful servants, ungrateful personalities maintained by others. Snakes are envious, mosquitoes are envious. They will bite. However good you are with them, however nice you are feeding them, you cannot feed a snake in the house every day and be relaxed that this snake will not bite me because he is eating me in our house, he is grateful to me, he is obliged to me, he will not bite. No, snakes do not have that quality. They are envious, they may bite. So such people are there, and we should not be like that. If somebody helps us, if somebody gives us something, we should not be ungrateful. We should not do harm to them. We should not do harm to anybody, but especially such personalities who are our seniors, who have helped us, who have blessed us, who has provided to us, our parents, our brothers, sisters, our teachers, and senior devotees and spiritual master, and of course Krishna and Mother Cow and land and environment and sun and moon and the clouds and the fire. So we are taking help from everybody for our existence, for even our spiritual and material duties. So we should have that gratefulness, and we should not go against them. Our spiritual master, our seniors, we should not insult them, we should not disrespect them, we should not criticize them, we should not embarrass them, we should not tease them, we should not laugh at their mistakes if they do. We should be very careful to not hurt others, and we should never obstruct or interrupt anybody's spiritual practice. But here the cruel Vena is obstructing and interrupting and stopping and restricting people to serve Vishnu. He is restricting even the saintly personalities to serve Vishnu. He is telling them not to do that. He is insulting sorry. is insulting the saintly personalities. So saintly personalities discussed together and thought we should do something about it. As I mentioned, sadhus generally don't get involved in social activities, but when there's emergency, they should get involved. In today's society, most of us are staying in countries which is democracy, and the government has to be elected by the citizens, and we are, as a citizens, required to put a vote. And we should understand, like the saintly persons during Vena's time, we can't change the government by our Brahmanical power or by our spiritual power. Today in Kali Yuga, that doesn't work, and this voting business also doesn't work. There are lots of politics and corruption in that. So if we want to change the society, the only way, and provide something good to the citizen, the only way is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We chant, we go out in public and we make others hear and make others chant. That is the only way Srila Prabhupada said we can change the society. That is the only way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu adopted. When Chand Kazi, the local government representative in Navadip, was against people chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did? He did a non-cooperation movement, non-violent movement. He gathered all his devotees and villagers, and on the streets he did big Harinam, and in a procession went all around the village and finally met Chand Kazi. And Chand Kazi agreed that okay, you continue your Harinam, no problem, and even today it is continuing. So that is the formula if we want to change the society. That is the formula if we want to change the leaders, and that is the formula if we want to change ourselves, to chant the holy name of Krishna, to go out on the streets and chant the holy name of Krishna, and to meet others and tell them to chant the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We can't change, but holy name can change. So we should allow others to hear the holy name. We should understand, I am not powerful to change, but holy name is powerful to change. So let others take shelter of the holy name, not shelter of me. That is preaching. Preaching doesn't mean a preacher becomes the center of his disciples or followers' life. Preaching means a preacher puts the holy name and Krishna in the center of his disciple or follower's life. So if we preach in such a way that we make the candidate dependent on us, that is not preaching. That is making him disempowered. But if we preach in such a way that we help the candidate depend on Krishna and the holy name, that is real preaching. So we should be careful that only holy name can help the society. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, came down and gave this holy name, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyatha, ki Kalau mein, in Kalau, in Kaliyug, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, chanting the holy name of Hari, chanting the holy name of Hari, chanting the holy name of Hari is the only way. Gatir Anyatha, Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyatha. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Only one way. Chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Nothing else is going to work. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America in New York, he sat under a tree and chanted the holy name and attracted the citizens of America who don't know about Krishna, and they became his followers, and they became sannyasis and pure devotees. Hippies became sannyasis. That's not easy to change somebody's life like that. So these hippies would take drugs and smoke liquor, smoke cigarette and drink liquor and do unrestricted sexual activity and stay naked on the street and all kinds of bad habits, forget taking bath and all. Who would think of converting them into pure Vaishnavas, that too when they have never heard about Krishna from their childhood? Even government has no solution to hippies, what to do with them. They are educated people. Even after great education in the universities, they reject the other gentlemanly life. Only Krishna consciousness is the solution. Only holy name is the solution. So there are Venas today, there are cruel people today, and there is government today which may not be helping people to practice spiritual life, and we should know our responsibilities. With the freedom available, we should become very serious devotees, and we should do public harinams and kirtans and spread the holy name of Krishna. Of course, be safe during this COVID pandemic, but still we should preach in whatever way, like this Zoom or Skype, Facebook, YouTube, and other ways. We should preach to people and chant more and more. That's the only solution for the present situation. So we should do that. Okay, we will end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, you may please ask or type.
Hare Krishna. Anybody has any question for Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So, Prabhuji, how you were explaining about the Garbha Sanskar. So, sometimes like I have a daughter and I have given her Garbha Sanskar, but now she does not want to chant. So, in those situations, what should we do?
Yeah, we should not force the child to chant. We should keep giving prasadam, and whatever way we can involve the child in Krishna conscious activities, we should try to involve. It may be taking the child to the temple, making them sit in classes and kirtans, performing arti in the house, or cleaning Krishna's utensils, or decorating and cleaning Krishna's altar, reading books, depends on the age of the child. In a fun way, in a easy way, creating a devotional atmosphere, becoming a very nice role model for the child, and inviting sadhus and requesting them to bless our children, giving charity or feeding cows in the name of the child. So we should do such things. A, involving the child in whatever way possible. B, creating a devotional atmosphere, and C, seeking blessings, and that will help, but no force, no force. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. We can have other children who are already enthusiastic to practice devotees mixed with our children, because children become open more to other children and doing the same activities. So that also helps. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. If nobody has
Yeah,
question,
please.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
So, should devotees vote or not vote? Because, you were mentioning how when you elect somebody and they do bad activities, then you also get the reaction for that. So, in today's world, most of the politicians don't understand Krishna consciousness. They are encouraging meat eating and other things and so many things like that. So, and they themselves may be meat eaters also. So, should we vote for, or should we refrain? Because now in America also now presidential election is coming up. And so, sometimes they would ask this question that
Not necessary. Not necessary.
not necessary to vote, right?
Yeah. Srila Prabhupada in his whole life, how many times he voted?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Any time heard? No.
No.
And he writes in his purport. I have not voted last 40 years. No necessary. We should not vote.
Okay, yes.
I have one question.
Yeah. Yes.
So, in terms of not if you see like from a Vedic perspective,
Your voice has interrupted. Yeah, try again.
I was thinking, Prabhu, ki, like in past times, there were dharma, Vedic dharma, according to rules and regulation, people live. So I was thinking, if we don't vote, is it not like we are not abiding by the principles of gentleman behavior kind of thing?
Okay, so when Prem Sindhu Prabhu asked, generally answers to questions in a class or instructions in a class may vary based on uh, ashram and varna. So at least sadhus, full-time devotees should never, should not vote. Those devotees who are grahasthas or congregation, not that they don't have faith, but if they are having life wherein they are not completely renounced and they feel the concern for the society and their duty for the country or the citizens, and so voting would not be a sinful activity in that sense. Of course, they will have a karma because they have supported somebody who is doing sinful activity. Philosophically speaking, the only way is to share Krishna consciousness with people. If the purpose of the vote is to select a government, and the purpose of selecting a government is to select a good government, and the purpose of selecting good government is so that people are peaceful and everything is available, and the purpose of having a good life is to practice Krishna consciousness. So the actual purpose can be fulfilled only by chanting the holy name and not by voting in today's circumstances. We are reading Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So a person can take his individual decision also on this issue. Is that okay, Darpan?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. And Prabhu, one more thing, Prabhu. In the case of Hiranyakashipu, when he was conceiving Prahlad Maharaj, at that time he chanted Narayan, but still, Prahlad Maharaj born, and then but the other person, like his wife, was a demon wife. So in that case, can it be like if one person is Krishna conscious and the other person is non-devotee, like a girl, or maybe boy is a non-Krishna or non-devotee and a girl is a devotee. Is it possible in that case that a devotee is born if one person's consciousness is pure?
Yeah, so in case of Prahlad Maharaj, when Kayadu was pregnant, she was residing in the ashram of Narad Muni. And Narad Muni used to give Bhagavatam classes every day, especially to the child inside the womb of Kayadu. And that was a great mercy by which that child became a devotee. And Vena is an example of a couple where husband is a pure devotee and wife is not, and he has turned out to be cruel. But in general, if one spouse is devotee and other is not sinful, favorable, that also will help the child. So yeah, even if one spouse is devotee, the child will get something good. So, and mother has a bigger role to play. Of course, father gives the seed, but the child is whole day with the mother. So mother has a very big role to play. If mother is a devotee, child is higher percentage to become a devotee, keeping other things constant. Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other question?
I think nobody else has any question.
Okay, we will end here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees on Facebook session ending the class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.